Let's check in with the Democrats and see what they're currently up to. Thousands in U.S. march for truth regarding Trump-Russia ties. Crowds demand a fair investigation from coast to coast. They're doing marches specifically around this issue. Should there be an investigation? Sure. Should all of the Democratic focus and energy be on beating this dead horse? Everything goes back to Russia. You're hurting your own electoral chances. This is the same as, remember when right-wingers would always scream Benghazi, 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 to the point where most Americans would say, shut the fuck up with your fucking Benghazi. Well, now it's Russia. And people who are in that corporate Democratic, establishment Democratic bubble, they think like everybody in the country is like, they're sitting around a dinner table in Topeka, and they're going, Russia, you know what I'm saying? That Vladimir Putin, hear me, dog? That's not what they're doing. People are worrying about how to pay the bills. They have healthcare costs. They have student loan debt. They have jobs that don't pay them enough, don't pay them what they're worth, jobs that don't give people a living wage. We're wasting our tax money overseas in 7 unnecessary interventions. We're doing a shadow war in Africa right now. That never got approved through Congress. Like, what? So, real problems, and the Democrats have based their whole messaging apparatus is now solely based on this. And then they wonder, wait, this is crazy. Why is it that Donald Trump is polling at like 35% and we're right there with him? We're right there with him. What's going on here? He's such a clown. He's a fucking reality star buffoon who's signing bills that have like a 7% approval rating. Remember when he signed away everybody's internet privacy rights? He's doing incredibly unpopular things. He signed an executive order that allowed coal companies to pollute the waterways, poisoning water for people, for women, kids. And the Democrats, instead of building around, oh my God, look at what he did here. What the fuck? Really? You're going to sign a bill that only 7% of Americans support? What the fuck is wrong with you? You're going to unnecessarily drop the mother of all bombs on Afghanistan? What are you doing? You're going to attack the Syrian government when you said you weren't going to get involved in Syria? What the fuck? You could argue about those things and take them down a few pegs and win in the realm of messaging, or you could argue what you're for. Hey, we want Medicare for all. We want a living wage. We want to end the wars. We want to end the drug war. But they're not doing any of that. Russia. So we have the March for Truth. That's what this is, the Russia thing. And then we have Nancy Pelosi doing resistance rallies. But in their resistance rallies, they're not even arguing for Medicare for all or what's our traditional liberal progressive priorities. They're just saying, we're not him. Trump bad, us good. Trump bad, me good. So you're not going to get people excited when you argue, Obamacare is good enough, shut the fuck up and take it. I know there's still millions of people who are uninsured, and we still have medical bankruptcies as one of the top causes of bankruptcies, but just shut up and take it. Okay, let me give you some of the article here, and then we'll discuss further. Thousands of protesters took to the streets across dozens of U.S. cities on Saturday to tell President Donald Trump they are not his comrades. Ooh, some red baiting from Huffington Post. That's cute. The March for Truth, led by a coalition of grassroots organizers, took place in cities including Washington, D.C., New York, Boston, and Portland. Demonstrators demanded that the investigation into the Trump campaign's alleged ties to Russian officials be handled in a fair and impartial manner. Organizers said that includes the creation of an independent commission and the release of Trump's tax returns, along with greater government transparency with the public. They also called for criminal prosecution if wrongdoing is discovered. D.C. saw the most sizable crowd starting in the morning, where protesters spelled out, "Investigate Trump" on the lawn of the National Mall. In New York City, demonstrators gathered at Foley Square, where they listened to speakers including Javier Munoz, however you pronounce that, of Broadway's Hamilton. The crowd then marched down Broadway chanting, "Resist," as they went. If I had to craft a protest that was more out of touch with regular people, I couldn't do it. The fucking guy from Hamilton is there, and you resist! Investigate Russia, will! By the way, one thing I never understood. You have 8,000 things right in front of your fucking face, but the corporate Democrats are insistent on arguing for the thing that involves innuendo and assumptions and like filling in the blanks in your head and speculations of treason, which is a preposterous claim. As much as I hate Trump, let's be serious. That's not, no, there's no fucking treason. So instead of saying, oh my God, Trump is over $1 billion in debt, personal debt, and it's mostly held on Wall Street. This guy's a puppet of Wall Street. Holy shit, he put Goldman Sachs in his administration. They wrote his tax plan. And then they're the ones who announced it to the public. Wow. What the fuck? That's right in front of your face. It's all there. Those are all facts. We already know those things. He's over $1 billion in personal debt. Guys, that's even worse than the corruption of other politicians, because with other politicians, at least it's campaign debt. So it's not personal debt. Campaign debt, they still do the bidding of their donors, right? So if for campaign debt, they're still beholden to their donors. But you're even more beholden if it's personal debt, because you could sit down and renegotiate the personal debt. You're going to talk to people from Wall Street. They'll say, look, I know you owe us $14 million, Donald Trump, but what if we cut that to $3 million and you give us what we want in terms of this deregulation deal, or you give us what we want in terms of letting us continue to shove billions of dollars in offshore tax havens? Or what if you give us our corporate welfare check, subsidies? How about that? How about you have the Department of Justice get off our ass because they're investigating us for fraud or whatever? Get them all. Hey, then we'll cut what you owe. So the scandals are right in front of you, you fucking idiots, and you're going to the one that hasn't been proven yet and there's no evidence of yet. He hasn't even done a single policy that benefits Russia, but you're stuck on Russia. What about Saudi Arabia? He registered 8 new businesses in Saudi Arabia during the campaign. And then look at that. Lo and behold, he just did a $400 billion economic deal with them. $110 billion worth is weapons to a terror state that has the same ideology as ISIS. Not a single Democrat said, Saudi Arabia, we need an investigation on Saudi Arabia. What happened in the back channels with Saudi Arabia when they made the deal for the 8 new businesses? He registered 8 new businesses, and then he did a deal that helps them out and is the exact wrong policy for the American people. We're cuddling up to a terror state and giving them money and weapons. They behead people in the public square. They're a theocracy. They're an absolute authoritarian dictatorship. We're cuddling up with them, and Donald Trump did it for personal reasons because he has personal businesses registered there, and he cares about his golf courses, he cares about his businesses. So where's the back channel with Saudi Arabia where you made this deal? Let's do an investigation on that. Nope. Nobody says it. Why? Russia. Got to go to Russia. And look, let's be serious. It's hit the point of bigotry. Like, the Democrats are now so fervently on this Russia bandwagon and anti-Russia that they're now just flat out hawkish, and they're calling for military escalation with them, like Rachel Maddow did by saying, hey, if you pull NATO troops off Russia's border, Putin has a pee-pee tape on you. So meaning keep the NATO troops on Russia's border. Be more hawkish. Rachel Maddow's for escalating with Russia militarily. A lot of other Democrats, they called it a cyber Pearl Harbor. What happened with Russia during the election, where they allegedly, no evidence, hasn't been proven, gave WikiLeaks the DNC emails. So Hillary Clinton's own words get released, and the corporate Democrats say, cyber Pearl Harbor, let's escalate to war, maybe, over this with Russia. It's at the point of bigotry. Like, there's anti-Russian bigotry in the Democratic Party. And to the point where people had to come out who were like founders of this movement and say, no, we're not anti-Russia. What? You're not the whole fucking thing is built on Russia. There's a secret cabal of Russians running our country. And our president is a puppet of the Russians. What does that sound like? There's a secret cabal of Jews who are running everything. And we're just being brave truth tellers by calling out all the Jews who secretly run everything. There's a secret cabal of Russians, and if you don't see it, maybe you're working with the Russian government. Oh, you don't see the Jews running everything? Maybe you're working with the Jews. Maybe. We've seen this. Come on, man. Come on. It's just not rational. It's not logical, and you're driving your own party off the fucking cliff because real people have real problems, and you're not addressing them. Every minute spent talking about Russia is a minute you're not talking about a living wage. It's a minute you're not talking about how half the country makes $30,000 a year or less. You're not talking about the 600,000 homeless people in this country, 57,000 homeless veterans in America. You're not talking about the 7 different interventions we're doing, the $100 billion a year that we waste on 800 military bases. You're not talking about healthcare bills being one of the top causes of bankruptcy, which is crazy. You're not talking about the millions of people who are uninsured and don't have health care. So you're not calling for Medicare for all. You're not calling for a living wage. You're not calling for ending the drug war and stopping the mass incarceration crisis. You're not calling for free college and addressing the student loan debt crisis. So you're not talking about real issues. By the way, that's why Justice Democrats are here. We're here to fight for the right things. You know who we're running. Go to justicedemocrats.com. Read about our candidates. Read our platform. See what they stand for. And understand we're doing a drive where we're trying to raise $500,000 for our candidates for June. So by the end of June, we want to raise $500,000, and your help is greatly appreciated. Our candidates take no corporate money and no PAC money, so we rely on small donations from regular people because those are the people we want to represent. We don't want to represent corporations and PACs. We're not gonna represent corporations and billionaires. So we need small donations from you. Go to justicedemocrats.com/donate and let's end this madness. A Democratic Party that needs to be focused on the issues, focused on the workers, focused on regular people, focused on making this country a better country. That's what we're focused on. Medicare for all, living wage, free college, end the wars, end the drug war, re-regulate Wall Street. Real issues. Let's stop with the Russia madness and driving the party off a cliff, and let's bring the party back to sanity. justicedemocrats.com/donate.